Welcome to the Business Renovator. I want to read a page out of here because it's the date that I want to do that. So bear with me as I open the page. On this day, the quote here in Brian Monahan's book, Customer Delight 365, be the light in the dark, be the calm in the storm, be at peace while at war, Mike Dolan. So Brian's take on that is the key in Dolan's quote is be light and be delight. So I encourage you to ponder that for yourself today. So the light I'm going to be today for you is to talk about some things around the sales process or process if you're in Canada. Good morning, Randy, chap, buddy. How are you doing? I believe in the 30 plus years, probably even longer, that I've been in the sales profession, that we in the sales profession are really guides, and there's a roadmap we follow, and there's numerous gurus and books and training programs available to all of us. And I think what you need to do is find the things that resonate with you, find the things that are in alignment with your core values, and whether it's new, old, or somewhere in between, adopt it, and make it yours. Put your persona in it. So for today, the roadmap I wanted to talk about is there's 5 navigational points that have served me well over the years I've been in the sales process, whether it's coaching people, athletes or business owners, or other salespeople, or if you're actually being a salesperson providing a solution to a problem. These steps will work. First of all, we have to have somebody to talk to, so we need to get their attention. And to get their attention, we need to be able to identify what are the problems they have, the things they're thinking about in their head, the conversations they're having in their head that they don't want, and what's the solution they're looking for that they can't find. And once we've identified that, then we can do a deeper dive to understand what their issues are, what their challenges are, what motivates them, what's holding them back. Stephen Covey, in his great book, The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, says, seek first to understand and then to be understood. So by doing that, it's kind of like Brian Tracy says, be a doctor of selling. Because a good doctor, asks great questions at the beginning of the exam to find out, why are you at their office? What's ailing you? Where's the pain? Where's the distress? Because if they don't do that, they are at risk of malpractice. Matter of fact, when I was in a training program for facilitating a sales training program that I offer, one of the fellows that was there from Guatemala, he shared a real life example. And the example was he had a pain in the back. And he went to his first doctor, and the doctor asked a few questions, asked him where it hurt, what was going on. He says, oh, no problem. What you need is a few of these anti-inflammatory pills, take these painkillers, and you should be good in about 10 to 12 days. So he followed the doctor's advice, the sales professional. 2 or 3 days went by and nothing seemed to change. Matter of fact, it was getting worse. So what he thought he would do is, well, let's get a second opinion. So he went to another doctor. This other doctor had a different approach. He asked way more questions. He actually did some exams. I believe they did an MRI. And in the MRI, what they found out was where the pain in the back was, the lower level, there was some fractured vertebrae. So the initial diagnosis and prescription would not have helped this fellow deal with his pain. But the second doctor dug a little deeper, really sought to find out what was going on, provided a solution, and he became healthy again. The moral in that story is ask enough questions to really understand. Don't jump on the first indication, the buying signal. Don't jump on the first one. It might not be everything that's there. Dig a little deeper. Ask 1 or 2 more questions. Really seek to understand what's going on. And by doing that, then you're going to earn the right to be able to earn the business. Be that trusted advisor. Be the solution provider to the problem that they have. And one of the things you need to do is understand their their motivation and their drive and what makes them tick in terms of what's important to them, because we are emotional beings. And I don't know if you guys have ever had this. How many people make a decision based on what they need? Do people buy what they need, or do they buy what they want? Ponder that for a minute. My experience is that most of the time, myself included, I buy what I want. I don't buy what I need. There's lots of things I need, but there's no emotional connection to it. The need is logical, the want is emotional. And being that we're emotional beings, we tend to do what the emotion drives us. Matter of fact, if you listen to some of the greats, we need to have a burning desire. Napoleon Hill speaks about that in his book, Think and Grow Rich. And having that burning desire is the fuel to move us towards the end result we have selected. Assuming you set a goal, you have a vision, and want to go somewhere. If you don't have any of that, then you'd be a wandering generality, like somebody else says. I think it was Zig Ziglar, matter of fact. Hey, Tim, thanks for that. The next step, now that I'm talking about 5 navigational points in the sales process. So we've talked about interrupting, creating some interest by understanding who they are, asking questions, seeking to understand, being like a doctor of sales. You need to develop the desire, the want, the burning issue to move forward, and then to get to the point where you actually, I call it a conviction point. And this is where you do your presentation. And this is where you actually take all the information you discovered in your diagnostic process, repeat it back to your prospect in a way that speaks to the problems that they're having in their mind that they don't want, and getting confirmation by asking trial closes, or just doing a check-in like a barometer or the weatherman, and helping them to understand that you really did listen to them. I was teasing Eric Vam the other day, because he's a great guy. If you like pizza, and if you like to be motivated, and if you want to be driven, you need to go check out Eric Vam. He's part of the Megamind group, there's a bunch of my buddies here watching today. He's Mr. Enthusiastic. But I was teasing him about a few letters, and the letters that I gave him spell the same, with the same letters, excuse me, with the same letter spells 2 different words, but the 2 different words are really important in the sales profession. And the word is listen. If you change the letters around, it also spells silent. So if you're listening, you're silent. And if you're silent, you're listening. And if you listen assertively to what the prospect, your customer, is saying, you'll be able to identify what's important to him. So that's feeding back the information to your prospect to let them know you understood, and here's a solution, a resolution to the problem. Because now you're moved along the path. You're actually a professional problem solver, a solution provider. And when you get to that part, when it comes to ask for the order, what I've experienced more often than not is I don't have to bring a heavy closer in from Texas or from Toronto, because I've earned the right. I've asked the questions. I've really understood what's going on with them. And when it gets to the end, usually what happens, like 90% of the time, they're asking me, so how do we get started? Can we do it on a Tuesday? Most of the time. No, not always, but most of the time. So do the heavy lifting. Really build rapport, trust, and respect by doing the navigational points at the beginning. And then when it comes to getting the commitment, you're on the same score sheet. You're there to help. They understand that, and they want to move forward, because people do business with people they like, trust, and respect. And if you've done that, the trust is there, the respect is there. Who would they want to work with? Objections become just more questions that need to be answered, because they're leaning in. They really want to get what it is you have. I see a few comments here. I'm just going to post these up so I don't miss anybody. Thank you, Michelle. Oh, there's another one. Listen to understand. Yeah, absolutely. Sean, appreciate you jumping in, buddy. Yes, and that creates confirmation and agreement. It absolutely does. We're here to serve. not to pound them into something. In my business, because I'm in the coaching training space, I deal with human beings, as all of us do, but my situation is quite intimate because I work with many of my clients one-to-one. And if there's not the trust and respect, it's not going to be a great relationship. And I'm not going to be able to serve them at the highest possible level where they get the largest chunk of value for themselves. Oh boy, Sean, you're absolutely right. If there's no objections, you're probably talking to somebody who's not interested. Maybe they don't have the money, they don't really have anything that you have a need or want for what you are offering. So absolutely right. If you're not getting objections, the sale really hasn't started. Hey guys, I really appreciate you jumping in and expressing your ideas and sharing them. This is brilliant. Many of you are my Mega Mind buddies, which is a mastermind on steroids. It's a terrific group of people where they push you and prod you and support you moving forward. So if you don't have a Mega Mind group, if you're not in one, damn it, start one, make it happen, be a leader. So my call to action today for you guys is, if I can remember where to go over here in the banners, I have I believe that we need in the sales process as well as in the life process is we need to have a vision. We need to be able to navigate to somewhere. So we're here today and we want to be there tomorrow. Well, what does that look like tomorrow? And what does it look like today? And what are some of the things we need to do in the meantime? So my gift to you for listening to me, is to give you a digital workbook that's about creating your own vision. And you can get that by simply putting in an email to me, which is right up here, phil@coachphil.ca. In the subject line, put in vision. I'll respond back with a copy of the digital book for you to have. And if you have any questions, fire me an email around the vision book, and I'd be happy to interact with you via email and help you sort through it. Hey, Doug Wing, here's the tall guy, or is he a tall guy because he's on a ladder? I have one of Doug Wing's ladders. It's helped me build the upper level deck, and it helped me paint a condo. It's one of the best things I've ever had in terms of construction. I'm not a construction. Hey, here's some great advice. He who speaks first owns it. Great stuff. What's Eric saying? The best salespeople have the heart to serve. Shoot, that's the best people in life. Man, this Eric guy, he's brilliant. If you haven't met him, you want to connect with him. He helps pizzas arrive in your home as if you were in the restaurant eating them fresh off the plate. And Doug's telling me he's only 5'9". So it must have been the ladder that made you really, really tall. I know that's my excuse. I have that wonderful ladder. Anyway, this has been fun, guys. I attempt to do this every morning at 9 o'clock Mountain Daylight Time until we change the clock back. Then it'll be Mountain Standard Time. But basically, it's 9 o'clock. If you ever have a question about business, sales, marketing, or mindset, reach out to me on Facebook or send me an email to phil@coachphil.ca, and let's set up a conversation and let's be Mega Mind wonderful people. Until we meet again tomorrow, later, guys.